I can't believe some bozo gave this movie a 1 out of 10 on IMDb. What the fuck you thinking? Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. So I just wanted to do a quick review. It's not even really like a true review. It's more of a defense of this movie. It's just mind-boggling. I can't believe some idiot gave this movie like a 1 out of 10 on IMDb. Again, I shouldn't say idiot or bozo or whatever, but I just did. I know everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I'm like, what the fuck are these people watching when they see these movies? Like, okay, so very quickly in a nutshell, I've said this 1,000 times before. I've got this new love for lower budgeted horror movies. I just think the freedom that these directors have, they don't have to answer to the big studios. You know what I mean? They kind of just collect the money, whether it be Kickstarter or whatever, like, you know, gathering money from whatever means to make a movie, and then they sell it at film festivals. You know what I mean? And they don't have to worry about the studio stepping in and saying, no, you can't do that, that won't work, and all this other bullshit. I just find the freedom in these lower budgeted movies is a lot better, and the ideas are just fucking fantastic. And I don't even need to defend that because, I mean, if you look at a lot of the better big budgeted horror movies that are coming out lately are usually garnered from a low budget horror movie or a short film. So in the most case, not all the time, but more times than not. Anyways, okay, so I sat down, I watched this movie yesterday. It's called Wretch. Now there's 2 movies coming out this year. Well, there's another movie called The Wretched that is coming out later this year that looks fucking amazing. So don't confuse the two. This one came out last year, which would be 2018. And I've been sitting on this movie for a long time, and I finally got around to watching it, and I loved it. I absolutely did. It's plain, it's simple. There's no CGI in it. It's even got like found footage, that style of filming, which I don't even care for, and it pretty much worked in this movie. Basically, I'll just read you the synopsis. In an attempt to piece together fractured memories of a drug-fueled night in the woods, 3 friends confront guilt, jealousy, and a supernatural presence that threatens to expose their true natures. Okay, so basically that's a synopsis. And really, honestly, there's only 3 people in this movie. There's Megan Massey, who plays Abby, Spencer Courts, who plays Caleb, Abby's boyfriend, and then Riker Hill, who actually plays himself, who's kind of the friend of these 2. And basically, Caleb is a fucking asshole. He really is. He treats Abby like shit. He's very possessive. Doesn't really want her going out to do anything. He's one of these ass clowns, boyfriends, you know what I mean, that doesn't want his girlfriend to be around anybody else because he's a jealous fuck. Yet, as soon as she falls asleep, he goes out to the bars and picks chicks up, and he's just a prick, really. He honestly is. And then Riker Hill, who plays himself in this movie, kind of has a thing for Abby, you know what I mean? So, anyways, long story short, they go into the woods, okay, and then they take these drugs, and shit happens. Basically, Caleb falls asleep, and then Riker kind of hits on Abby. She doesn't really take it too personally, you know what I mean? She just kind of lets it slide off her back. But anyways, they ended up going for a walk, and then they don't know if it's like because they're hallucinating or whatever, but long story short, they both kind of see this presence in the woods. Now, it affects Abby to begin with, you know what I mean? And she has these nightmares about it and these reoccurring dreams of this 8-foot tall, creature thing that she saw in the woods, and she's trying to diagnose it, and it's driving her fucking crazy, you know what I mean? And then later on in the story, now I don't want to give spoilers here, so I'm not going to, say the ending or anything, but later on in the movie, we find that Riker is having the same sort of dreams. He's seeing this creature as well, and it's not just in the woods anymore. Now they're starting to see it in real life, and there's a scene in the movie, I think it shows into the trailer too, where there's these hoof marks going around Riker's house, you know what I mean? Like the creature is actually coming to their places now. So beyond that, I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to spoil it. But most of what I just said, you can kind of see in the trailer, anyways. But again, this movie has a budget of $125,000, so you're not going to see crazy effects or whatever. But I will say the creature in this movie, okay, and they show it in the trailer. So again, I think it looks fucking amazing for the budget that this movie had. Now, I judge a lot of low-budget horror movies on one movie specifically, kind of like I judge all my Bigfoot movies on the movie Exists. I kind of judge all my low-budget horror movies on one movie called The Headhunter, and that movie was made for $30,000, and I haven't seen, like, I've seen movies made for millions of dollars that are not as good as The Headhunter made for 30 grand. You know what I mean? So when you get these low budget movies, I kind of judge it on that. And I mean, this movie is not on the same level as The Headhunter, but I mean, it holds its own. It really does. It's got a great story. It's got a fantastic idea. It kind of keeps you guessing the whole way through whether they're seeing this thing in their head, if they actually saw it at all because they were all drugged up. You know what I mean? But again, I don't want to go beyond that because I don't want to give spoilers. So, but I like this movie. I can't believe, like, some people gave it like a 1 and a 3.5 on IMDb. I'm like, the fuck are you people watching? I think we're in this era now where everybody expects movies to be these big budgeted, you know, flashy, action-packed, you know, rock-style horror movies, you know what I mean? And it's just, this movie is not like that. It's just, it's like a slow burn. It's got a great story. I think the acting's great. The characters really work together. I will say Riker is a bit annoying in this movie, the way his tone is and the way he talks. But again, it's not the person, it's just the character, and I'm sure that's the way it was scripted. And I mean, Caleb in this movie is a fucking asshole, and you hate him early on in his attitude, but I mean, that's great. That's great acting. You know what I mean? Because he's making me as a viewer hate this fucking guy because of his attitude, and it draws you into the movie. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not really scary. It's not. The one reviewer said, you know, how can this even be classified as a horror movie because it's not even scary. Well, not all horror movies are fucking scary. I mean, I don't know. We classify Godzilla as a fucking in the genre of horror, don't we? It's a creature feature, but I don't ever remember being scared from Godzilla. Maybe the first one when I was a kid, but certainly not you know, the rest of them. But I mean, horror movies don't have to be scary to be like. It's just some of the comments these people. It's just mind-boggling how fucking stupid some people are. But again, to each their own, and everybody's opinion is their own, right? So I'm sure I'm going to get blasted in the comments for saying that, but I mean, God damn it, man, I'm just calling it like it is, and there's a lot of fucking stupid out there when it comes to people reviewing these lower budgeted movies. I mean, you can't put, you know, like even a $10 million budget movie against a movie in most cases that has like, you know, like $100,000 budget. It just doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to be there. But I mean, these guys put a pretty good fucking movie out for the money they definitely had. And again, I'll say this. Going back to The Headhunter, $30,000, I guarantee you that movie blows most $10 million productions out of the fucking water. If you haven't seen The Headhunter yet, find that movie because it is fucking amazing. But anyways, find this movie too, Wretch. It's actually funny too because there's not a lot about this movie on the internet. I mean, you can find it, but you have to search for it. And there's not a ton of people talking about it. So I don't know, maybe it just hit me in a way that it didn't hit most people. I don't know, but I thought it was great. Yeah, definitely check it out. It's called Wretch. Came out in 2018, but you can find it now. It's on iTunes. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube and other video platforms. But I watched it on iTunes. I paid for it. It was great. I think it was like $4.99 or $5.99. I can't remember. But yeah, just rent it and watch it. And let me know what you think. Leave comments down below. If you have seen it, leave me some comments, you know, right away, because I'm curious to see if anybody's seen this movie and what they thought of it. Maybe I'm just out in left field here with it, but I thought it was pretty cool. So, and I'll tell you again, for the budget, the creature, you know, in this movie, you don't see it a lot, and you don't see it, you know, very often, but when you do, it's fucking pretty killer. So, anyways, check it out. It's called Wretch. Yeah, let me know what you think, and until next time, guys, stay scared. 1 out of fucking 10. You should be ashamed of yourself.